Hey, welcome back to From the Pastor's Kitchen. Once again, I get to share with you two of my greatest passions, my love for Christ and my love for cooking. I am Marco Sims, Senior Pastor of the Sanctuary Christian Center, and I invite you to my kitchen. Now today I'm going to do two dishes for you. I think that they're rather simple, and I love some shrimp and grits, and so that's what I'm going to prepare for you, some creamy shrimp and grits, and then I'm going to add a light gravy to the shrimp to enhance the flavor of them. But what I've done for you thus far, because it takes about 30 to 45 minutes to prepare the grits, I only use stone ground grits, and you can only purchase them from the market or a Whole Foods store. I don't think I've had any of the regular grits for about maybe 12 years. I don't enjoy them, and so I don't prepare them for my family. So what I want to do for you is to show you the ingredients, and I've already prepared the grits, and they're on low cooking, and I haven't added any seasonings to them yet. So what I've done, I have 2 cups of stone ground grits, 2 cups of chicken stock, essential to add flavoring to your grits. And then I also have 2 cups of water that I add to it. And then I constantly stir it for about 30 to 40 minutes. And now let's go over to the grits. And so what I need to do, because the grits are just about prepared, they're on low, I don't have any seasoning in the grits yet. And so in order to make these creamy, I added cream to them too. I added 2 cups of cream. You have 2 cups of chicken stock, 2 cups of the stone ground grits, 2 cups of water, and 2 cups of cream. And so now I want to add some butter to this, add some flavor to this. And I am going to do about a half a stick of butter in here to add some flavor to this. Once the butter cooks down in here, then I am going to add the last part to these grits, which would be the cheese. But I need to season them. And so what I'm going to do is add just a little bit of adobo in here and a little bit of white pepper. I don't want to change the coloring of my grits. And white pepper is really strong. It's stronger than black pepper. So you just want to use just a little bit of it, just a hint of it. What happens with the grits is that when you add the chicken stock to it, it adds the flavor already. And once again, I love the smell of food. You can smell the grits. These make a much creamier grit too when you use the stone ground grits. The flavoring is just awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and add, this is about a good cup of Parmesan cheese in here, just to make them a little creamy. Put them down in here and let this just melt in here. So all I'm going to do is just let it slightly melt in here and cook, and add some flavor to this, a little bit more flavor to this. Then I'll come back and taste it as well. And what I'm doing with these grits too, I'm using a wooden spoon. You use a wooden spoon for this to constantly stir, because the steel or the metal in other spoons that you use, the heat is enhanced even more so, and you don't want that in your hands while you're cooking. So I'm learning to cook a little bit more with spoons as I am doing dishes that I need to stir. So once again, I'm going to put the top on here. We're going to let it simmer a little bit. All these ingredients flow down inside of here, and we're going to move to the second part of our dish. Okay? The second part of the dish for me would be shrimp. I use rather large shrimp, where I buy the colossal shrimp, and I'm going to go ahead and season them with a little black pepper, a little adobo, and main ingredient here would be some blackened shrimp. I got some seasoning in here. I can hear it. There we go. Want to blacken them just a little bit, and go here and get my seasoning back again. I'm going to toss these with my hands to get the seasoning all on my shrimp. Now I'm going to cook them in a skillet. Skillet really enhances the flavor of food as well, you know. And so I'm going to cook them in a skillet, and they are seasoned up. Wash my hands off right quick. And come over to my skillet. Gonna put some olive oil in my skillet. It's already warmed, so it won't take me long to do this. I'm going to change the heat, turn the heat up a little bit, and I'm also going to add some butter in with my shrimp to cook my shrimp down. So I'm going to let that simmer a little bit and let that melt down, and then I get an opportunity to share with you my word today. My word today is grace, coming out of Ephesians 2:8. For by grace we are saved through faith, not that of ourselves. It is the gift of God. And so when I think about grace, I think about favor from the Lord. And think about when you were once a child, you got a gift at Christmas, or you had an expectation to receive a gift at Christmas time. We often did, and we weren't really that deserving of the gift, but that's something that we had an expectation of receiving. And so what God has done for us as Christians, once we take the walk into salvation, He says, I'm going to give you something that you have not earned, something that you're really not deserving of, but because you said yes to me, you said yes to my will, you said yes, that now with the power of the Lord inside of me, I am strengthened to resist temptation. My Lord, in my weakest moment, the grace of God strengthens me. My Lord, it helps me to walk in this divine walk. It gives me the faith that I have now is in the Lord and not of myself. I tell you, that is awesome when I think about that, the gift that God has given me. And so we're looking for gifts all the time. I'm going to go ahead and start cooking these shrimp down. You can see them sizzle in here. And shrimp don't take long to cook at all. We are always looking for gifts at certain holiday seasons, anniversaries, birthday times. And what the Lord has done for us, He says, this gift that I've given you is everlasting. And you have not deserved it at all, but it's everlasting. I'm going to rinse the tongs off. As I get ready to turn them, it won't take long at all. Look at them, and they're blackened. I'm going to take them out once I turn them all over, and they are cooked. Put them in my bowl and get ready to make my sauce. This is on low cooking. The grits are done. Once again, the grits took about 30 to 40 minutes to cook. I'm just turning these shrimp over. That's all that I'm doing right about now, because my skillet is hot. The flavor is on these shrimp. And we're going to add them to the grits once it all gets cooked down. I cook with butter often to enhance the flavor of the food. It really does, with a little bit of oil. And you want to cook with, when you're cooking with butter, you want to add a little bit of oil to it as well, and so that the butter does not burn. If you put the butter in by itself and you walk away from the skillet, I guarantee you that it will burn up, and you don't want that to happen at all. Okay? And so these shrimp are ready to come out. A quick deal on the shrimp. That's all. They're already seasoned up in here. It does not take long at all for these shrimp. Not at all. I'm going to get my bowl over here. Put them in my bowl. Now the next thing is to go ahead and make my gravy. I've got to take this and take the end of the skillet. I always turn my skillets away from the path of walking so that we don't walk on it. And so I don't want to take the goodness out of the skillet, because I'm going to use this to make my sauce. This is just my skillet. These are just my shrimp. You don't want to overcook your shrimp either. Put them in there and take them out, because they taste like rubber if you cook them way too long. It's not necessary. They are cooked. Now what I'm going to do here is, because I want to make a little gravy to go on top of the grits that we have there. Let me put this on this side here. You all, I like to clean up as I go along too. I don't like a huge mess in the kitchen at all too. So I have some shallots here. A shallot is crossed over between onions and garlic. So I'm going to add these to this. This is about, I just did one shallot. Stir these in here. I'll take and put a little bit of more oil in here. I'm about to take this to a whole nother level, y'all. Just hold on. Once again, I like to smell the food, when it's cooking, how good it smells. It doesn't take long for me to do that. Then I'm going to take just a little bit of flour and put in here. I'll make a light gravy with it. I want a little thick. I don't want it too thin at all. I'm going to add some butter to it as well, just to enhance the flavor of my food. Guess what? I haven't forgotten about my word grace, you all either, so stand by. I'm coming back to it. I want the flour to get just a little brown, and it is. And I cook it in the same skillet here to enhance the flavor. I'm going to take this now and add some Worcester sauce to it. Look at this, look at this, look at this. There we go. You can smell that in there. And now, some water. Just to make a light sauce with this, right quick is what I want to do. Make a light sauce with it. And I need to taste it as well too before I get ready to season it. I don't want a lot of it in there at all. All of you were just there in the kitchen with me. I know some of you all do. I'm getting some messages from individuals, and some of my friends and some of my members are asking, when are you going to invite me over so I can taste some of that goodness, Pastor? Pretty soon we're going to do just that. So I'm going to take this now, and I want to taste it just a little bit. Because see, flavoring was already in it from the skillet. Oh my goodness. Don't need much flavoring in it at all. So now, I want to kick it up another notch. Add a little bit of cream to it. It's a little spicy. Now add the cream to it. There we go. And I'm going to take this sauce. I don't have to season this at all because all of the seasoning was on the shrimp. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, let me rinse this spoon off so I can taste it one more time, you all. And I don't need a lot of sauce for it at all. The skillet does a phenomenal job. Excellent. A little bit more cream. Excellent. Once again, when I started out cooking, I began to tell you have to season the food to your taste and to your likeness. And so as you go along, you have an acquired palate, and you begin to say, hey, this is what I really like. You know, because I've traveled to so many restaurants, and what I do for recipes, when I really want a recipe, I begin to tell the person, hey, would you please go get the chef for me? I want to compliment the chef, and the chef comes out the kitchen, sometimes sits with us and shares the recipe with us. I am simply amazed how that happens. That's how I got the recipe for the grits. I've never used any other grits other than stone ground grits since we had taken the trip to, what was it? Hilton Head. And we had the grits there, and the chef came out the kitchen and gave me the recipe. Awesome. So I can move this off now and push this back. I'm going to take this sauce here and pour it over my shrimp. My goodness, look at it. There we go. Pour it over the shrimp. Let's move this back out the way and take this. I want to clean this up a minute, you all. Presentation is everything. Clean this off. The sides here. Put it up here. And those are my shrimp. Now my grits are prepared. Let me go back over here and get the grits as well. Take the grits now and put them in this bowl. Oh Lord, look at those. Some creamy grits. Just with 2 cups of the stone ground grits, you get this. The flavoring is already in here. You don't need to add much because once again I used the chicken stock for it and it enhanced the flavoring of this. Okay? Okay? And so I'm going to push this to the side because I don't want that to be there. Let's go here. Presentation here. Now I'm going to take these and put them in one bowl to set it up, a serving in a bowl so that you can get a full picture of the shrimp and grits. And then we'll end with the word grace one more time because I really want you to get the gist of what I'm trying to convey to you with the word grace. Let's do this. Take a little bit of these shrimp with the sauce as well there to it. Look what I just did. Look at what I just did to taste. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And this is our dinner tonight. My wife can't wait. She asked me when we began, she was like, are we having that for dinner tonight? Normally we don't eat late night, but we're gonna eat this tonight. That's one bowl. Let me go ahead and make her bowl too. That's my bowl right there. I'm gonna make another bowl. Yeah, I did that. I made my bowl first right there. And she's taking a photo of the food. And then we're gonna do this, make a second bowl here. Put the shrimp in this bowl right here. A couple of shrimp in this bowl. Now, I'm not done with this yet. Let's top it off. Let's top it off. With some green onions. And there you go. With shrimp and grits. So what I want to do now is I just want to explain to you a little bit more about grace before we end tonight. This meal will take you as well to about 35-40 minutes, but it's only based upon the grits. When you do the shrimp, it will take a good 5 to 7 minutes, and to add the sauce to it as well, it doesn't take a long time. So as you're stirring in the grits, just take your time with them, and the outcome will be phenomenal. So we're going to end with the word grace tonight. I want you to think about the gift that God has given us as an elected people because we said yes to the will of God. And so what Jesus did, he had a plan. He said, Father, I'm going to come to save the lives of the people. And then when I leave, I'm going to leave them with a phenomenal gift. The gift of salvation, the gift that I know that will strengthen them, and that's grace. They don't deserve it, but you know why I'm going to give it to them? Because I made the sacrifice. Now when you think about that, why would you not want to live for him? Why would you not want to give him your all in all? And so that's what grace is all about. The favor of Jesus that we don't even deserve, but he said, because I died for you, I leave that gift with you. What a mighty God we serve. As we continue to bless him and honor him, be mindful of the gift that you retain once you say yes to the will of God. God bless you all. If you enjoyed the presentation tonight, if you enjoyed what I've delivered and preparing this meal for you, then I ask that you would like this video, subscribe to it, give comments, and please share with other individuals. And when you give me comments, please let me know what you would like for me to prepare for you, because I can just about cook anything. And this is from the Pastor's Kitchen. God bless you all.